Assalamu Aleykum wa Rahmatullah wa Barakatuh. Welcome to another video. And actually this week I wanted to take you along with me on a Jumu'ah. It is my day off, and it's also I call it my cave of Hira. The day that I reset. It's my me time, it's my buffer in the week. So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of having a buffer in your calendar, in your schedule, to having some me time. And also, it's almost 6 months. Yeah, it's 6 months past since Ramadan, and I wanted to review a little bit of everything that's been happening since I made dua in the last 10 days, reviewing my goals. I would not be sharing that in detail with you, but it's it's just a hint. Like, go back to your du'as and go back to what happened in the past 6 months. If you have a planner, then this is gonna be really easy for you to do so. Because if you have the Women of Qur'an soul care planner, you will see how we have pretty much a quarterly review, a monthly review, a weekly review, a daily review. So you really, just looking at the reviews will give you a good idea of how you spent the past 6 months, which is always nice. And also look at all of that from the lenses of gratitude, right? So also wanted to mention that I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but we do have a podcast called Women of Qur'an now. And it's a podcast that talks about tadabbur. Every week we post, every Monday we post an ayah per juz. And we did a complete first season with 30 ajza. And you could look at season 1. We are in season 2. And we're almost actually on our way to the end of season 2, because this week I believe we're going into juz 21, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, check it out, inshallah. I'll put the link below. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to do as the introduction. Let's dive in as a Jumu'ah with me. So a Jumu'ah with me actually starts with ibadah, of course. Ibadah. The Jumu'ah is our Eid day, but it's also it's a day of dua. It's a day of Suratul Kahf, Tilawa. So reading the Qur'an, reflecting on the Qur'an, doing some tadabbur. It's a day of salawat ala nabi, so remembering Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I do teach a seerah series in the Telegram group on our platform for free. If you join our group every Saturday, I post a new lesson. And I'll give you a little bit of a preview of that lesson. Here's a sample of last week's lesson. And said, "What an evil tribe you were as regards your prophet. You belied me, but the others have believed. You let me down while the others have supported me. You expelled me, whereas the others have sheltered me." And this is where we're going to stop this particular episode. And it's a beautiful way to end, because it tells you that, your value is not in the sight of people. You need to know your value. Some people will not see your value, and some people will. Your value does not depend upon people's opinion and thoughts. And that is very important for us to know. We need to know who we are. We need to know our own value, so that it doesn't matter if we meet some people who praise us or who, don't praise us or don't believe in us. We still know who we are. It does not reduce who we are. And this is something that's not always easy to attain that level, but once you attain that level, you really free yourself from the people's mouth and eyes and all of that, because you know who you are. And so I really love that quote of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because it shows that he was who he was. And unfortunately for the Quraysh, they couldn't see that. That was their loss. But the other people who were able to see, that was their gain. The Ansar saw the value, and that was their gain. So I record the Sirah episodes on Fridays. So I spend time with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his life. And it's a day of ibadah, period. I do some reading, and I try to stay away from people. I try to speak less. I interact less, because that's why I call it my cave of Hira. It's a cozy day, and it's a date day as well with me and my husband. Like, we discovered a new park, and so we went to this park. So the Glen Park is the name of it, and so yeah, it's a really set. How do you say that? Where you reset and you disconnect a little bit so that you can come back stronger the next day. So let's talk about importance of buffer. When you have a schedule, I see that with my clients in time management. When you have a schedule that has no buffers, usually it's stressful and the person can easily get to burnout. So you want to have buffer even between appointments or events. And what is it? It's just basically a block of time where you're not going to schedule anything in between appointments. So let's say, for instance, for me, on the days that I work, I may have a class at 2 p.m. and another class at 3. Well, my class don't go an hour, they go 45 minutes. So I have this buffer of 15 minutes. I'm not going to book a class at 2:45 when I know I have a class ended at 2:45. So that's what the buffer is. And it helps you to take a breather, to get up, to stretch, get some water, talk to someone, close your eyes. It just gives you that breather where you're able to reset. And it helps you not to stress so much and come back with a new appointment fresh, right? With new person, new appointment, and really fresh. Now that's within a day. Setting a buffer in a week is also good. So what it is that you will set a day in the week where this will be like your catch-all day. In case you have some deadlines that you're running behind of, you can even use that day to catch up. So let's say you had, you had to submit something by Friday, let's say by Saturday, but because mine is on Friday, that's why I say that. But let's say you had to submit something by Saturday, and you thought you were going to be done by Thursday, but then, it was such a hectic week, you didn't get a chance to do it. That Friday where you didn't schedule anything, that you don't have any appointments, that's your catch-all day. That's the day you're going to actually catch up and still make the deadline on Saturday. Or it could have been that your deadline was on Monday and you wanted to spend maybe so many hours on this day, on that day, but it didn't happen. That Friday where you don't have any classes or any work, you can schedule some time to catch up. So basically a buffer is really giving you a margin. So when you go to an appointment, and you say that it's gonna take you so many minutes to get there, give yourself an extra 10-15 minutes as a buffer, right? So that's what a buffer is. And so Friday is my reset day, but it's also my buffer day. So whatever I had in mind as far as like my goals for the week, if I'm behind, I try to the best to use that Friday because I don't have any other commitments. I would try to use that Friday to catch up a little bit. Even if I don't catch up completely, I would have gotten ahead compared to if I had booked Friday, because I work for myself. I could easily book Friday. So many people have asked me for availability on Friday, and I said no, Friday I'm not working. And that's something that's self-imposed. That's something that I chose to set for myself so that I have that reset. And that's the reason why I also don't want to talk to many people on that day. I just want to really be on my own. I don't want to socialize. I just want to be in my cave, right? And we know from the Sunnah that Rasulullah sallallahu, he had that need to go to the cave of Hira before Revelation, and after Revelation there was also the practice of i'tikaf. So having that time, that me time, that margin where you are able to take a breather is really important. So I encourage you and invite you this week to actually set a buffer in your schedule. Look at your events and try not to set them one after the other. Look at your meetings and appointments and give yourself an extra 10-15 minutes to your getting ready. I told my client, you plan as if everything was green light. Plan as if you had red lights all along. That's setting up buffers. So I pray this was beneficial to you, that you enjoyed the Friday with me. and that you create a day. It doesn't have to be a Friday or a day or half a day. At least set up some time, a morning or evening, where you just, it's your me time, right? And let your family know so that so that they don't mess it up for you. All right, sisters, I hope this was beneficial to you, and I will see you inshallah in another week for another video. Bi-idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.